everyone, and welcome to session 11 in Tuesday Tonic. And you may see from the title, I've called it Unity in Diversity, which is a kind of moral backbone of yoga, philosophy of where yoga stands in relation to the grand scheme of things. And I thought it was very important today, in light of the current political situation, in light of where we're moving with the pandemic and with all the other concerns that are coming up, which are leading us, I think, towards more immediate segregation. And we're in real danger of that. And so, like most things, I relate it back through yoga for it to make sense to me and how I can make sense of an evolving situation. And there is, I'm not going to go into chakras or anything, but there's something I wanted to work with you today. And that is changing the paradigm which we've culturally inhabited for hundreds and hundreds of years globally, where we've taken the attitude of power, where we've tried to have power over. So we've tried to have power over other nations, other races. It's us and them. There's this constant battle of duality for domination and control. And, you know, in recent light of events, this seems to be what's happening backwards and forwards again. It's just this pattern of power, domination, just recreating itself. And if we change the paradigm, which is very outdated, and if we're to evolve as a human species, we need to shift the paradigm, the pattern, the cultural construct, if you like, from power over to power to. In other words, power to change, the power to observe that we can adapt, that we have that power within ourselves to shift our own attitude towards outdated constructs. You're thinking, well, what's that got to do with my body? Good question. Well, it's got everything to do with your body. If you look at your own body as a little microcosm, and then the world and society as a microcosm, as Mahatma Gandhi said, if you want to begin to change the world, you have to start with yourself. And it's so true. So I thought that what we could do today is to look at where we look at diversification within our own body. For example, if we developed a health condition, or if we had an accident, or due to age, the body parts aren't working so well. So that's a diversity within our own unified whole as a body, okay? Try and stay with me on this. So we're going to look at how our attitude is reflected through our own body, or how that construct comes through, that wish to dominate over our own body. We get angry if that body part isn't working the way it ought to. We get angry if we're ill, so we feel too poorly to be able to do what we wanted to do today. So it's really looking at shifting your own relationship to how you perceive your own body. And this is really profound. So we're going to look through simple areas to help you really digest this and understand this. So we're going to look specifically at the shoulder joints and the hip joints, because those are often areas where one might diversify from the other. Certainly in my own hips, it's like a different body. One hip's very flexible, the other's very stiff. So that's a really good area to come into, to be able to understand how we approach ourselves, okay? And then once we learn from that, then that vibrates out into the greater world for the greater good, okay? So, let's go for it. If you're ready and willing, come and sit back in your chair just to start with. Remember, it's a hardback chair, those who've just joined us today. Hope I've not scared you off with the talk. And then if you need a block, then use your block. If you have if you're a shorter person, like me, and then you can just rest back in your chair and close your eyes, or drop the eyes down and just begin to let everything slow down. And just as you let the body relax, let the feet sink into the floor, or the block, or the blanket, whatever you use to support you. Relax the knees, the pelvis, the back itself. Let the back be supported by your chair. Relax the shoulders and the neck, the arms, hands and fingers, and all the muscles in the face. Relax. And as you relax, just take a scan and see if there are any parts of the body that are troubling you today. Just make a note. Make a mental note. Observe that, and then see if you can just breathe into that body part. No judgment. Just breathing in and observing. Slowing the breathing down, noticing the quality of the breath. And then, if you feel able to bring the back away from the back of the chair, coming to sit upright. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. The body's as upright as it can be, and you're just beginning to circle the body on your seat. Grounded in the pelvis, keep the buttocks, both buttocks rooted to the chair. And you're just beginning to make circles, starting to work into that torso, warming up gently, working into the pelvis, slightly into the hip joints. No stress, no forcing. And then the other way. Come back to stillness, sitting upright if you can. Relax the shoulders down. And there's no specific breathing technique as such today. I'm just going to ask you to work with a mantra, a couple of words, whilst you breathe. So if you're able to close your eyes, just notice you're breathing through the nose, inhaling deeply, and then exhaling through the nose. Just making the breath as steady and smooth as possible. And then when you breathe in, can you breathe in and mentally repeat the words, I am breathing in power to blank, whatever comes to your mind. I'm breathing out power over. In other words, I'm letting go of the sense of power over, domination, control. Breathing in, power to. Breathing out, letting go of power over. Breathing in, power to. Breathing out, power over. Breathing in, power to. Breathing out, power over. Just a couple more breaths on your own. Let your body absorb those words, what that means in your own body. And after your next out breath, gently opening the eyes. Staying seated upright, and if you can, lift up your right leg and drawing that knee towards the chest, keeping the body upright, staying strong in your tummy area. And as you breathe out, you're going to pulse that leg even closer towards you. When you breathe in, you can relax it a bit, stay hold of it though, and squeeze. If you need to have the hands behind the thigh, that's fine. As long as you feel that you're getting that lengthening in the lower back, the job's done. Okay, one more. And then you're going to take hold of your foot and gently rotating through the hip, just a little circle through that hip joint itself, so you're not forcing through the knee. Can you then take this foot onto your thigh? Now, if you're able to do this, great. Can you work on flexing the foot? If it's not happening for you today, can you place the foot, cross it over your supporting leg, And again, what's your trigger? What are you thinking as you're working on this position now? Some of you may be thinking, gosh, this is more easy than I thought. And some of you may be thinking, oh, this blooming hip, it's not doing what I want it to, and you're angry. And I want you to think, when you get these trigger points, how often we can have these feelings when something different walks into our life. And these trigger points come because we feel vulnerable, because we want things, the status quo, to be exactly the same, and when it's not, we have reactions. The idea of power too, we're looking at, okay, how can I relate to my body? How can I look after it and work with it and befriend it? Make friends with the body part that's a bit sore today. Respect it. Listen to it. Listen to where it's coming from. Okay, and then from here, you're going to take your left arm up, and then you're going to drop it behind you, the hand behind your back. Now you've got a choice here. You can either take this hand and place it to the elbow, or you may be able to find that you can interlock the fingers behind like this. This is Gomakasana arms, okay? So just working with where you are at. And lifting up from the base of the spine. And again, what's triggering you? Keep asking the question, how am I what's my initial thought and how am I relating to this? And then release, stretch out, take the leg down, a little tap out, and then the other leg, knee to chest first. So hands to the calf or the back of the thigh, exhale, squeeze, inhale, release, continue in this way. How does this side feel in relation to the other side? Possibly not the same. Try not to judge. And then just a little bit of rotation in that hip, acknowledging that hip. So we're not forcing from the knee. The knee is just a hinge joint, and that's where we can often get a lot of damage if we force that knee too much and not work through the hip. So seeing if you can place that foot again, if not, then just over the supporting leg. Flex this foot if you can, and as you exhale, you can exhale working that knee downwards again without force. And then you're going to move into Gomakasana arms. So taking this arm up, and then you bend the hand down, and you either work by exhaling the elbow back, or if you can reach the fingers behind, then do, and breathe. Couple more breaths. Keep noticing what's going on in your mind. And release. Great. Okay, just a little roll in the shoulders there. Drop that foot down. Okay, so on the internet I found a teacher called Joe in England from the Yoga Vista Academy, and I've taken a couple of great little sequences to work into the shoulders, which can help you stay in this mindset of observation of what's going on as you work. So this moving sequence, we're going to start by, if you've got a block, just taking that out to the side. Take the feet out to the side, so you're sitting right at the front of your chair, and this is helping to open the thigh muscles a little bit. You stay very grounded in the feet, and you're going to pull on a rope. So you've got this imaginary rope, and as you work, observe the shoulders. Do they feel both as flexible as the other, or has one more resistance? Again, try not even to get it to match the more well shoulder. Just work with it respectfully, work with that part of the body where it is at, not where you want it to be. Okay, so you're going to leave the right arm lifted. And then you're going to exhale, looking up, and exhale that arm back. Inhale it forward, and you're going to exhale it back, but look in the opposite direction. Inhale up, exhale back, look at it. Inhale up, exhale, inhale, and this time keep looking forward as you just take that arm back, and then you're going to bend that hand back, so you're flexing that arm. So you're finding that's really working into the inner arm muscles. Okay, and then working into the fingers, you're going to bring the arm forward, and 5 counts, we're going to bring each digit into the hand. So starting with the little finger, bring it in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax down, roll the shoulder, and we start pulling this rope again. Feel that opening the rib cage. Again, noticing how these shoulders feel, if there's any change that's occurred, perhaps in the one you've just been working with. And then we're going to leave the other arm up. And looking up to it, you're going to exhale it back. Keep your eyes on that hand. Inhale, then look the other way as the arm goes back. Inhale. Exhale, look at the arm, inhale, exhale away, inhale, keep looking forward as you take that arm back, and then push the hands right back. So you're flexing at the wrist, really working into that inner arm. And a couple more breaths, and then we're going to bring the arm forward, drawing each finger and thumb in a count. So bringing it in, little finger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower that down, a little roll out in the shoulders, just keeping the legs like this. I know this is the wood chopper pose, so it's going like this. Imagine you're holding an axe and you're going to breathe in, and this is one of the few times when you breathe out through the mouth, so it's a great release if you've got a lot of pent up tension. You breathe in and you sigh out, breathe in, sigh, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, one more, inhale, exhale, and roll out. That's quite invigorating, isn't it? Rolling those shoulders. Okay, and now you can walk those feet together, staying at the front of the mat, so you probably don't need your block. You're going to extend your right leg straight out in front of you. Now, we've looked at this posture in a slightly different way in the past. It's called arch, and this is a lovely way into it that Joe in England from the Yoga Vista Academy is working with. So I wanted to use this for you as well, because it's getting that shoulder moving again, keeping you observing it in a slightly different way. So you're holding your bow, so your thumbs are up, the arms are straight out in front of you, your right leg is forward, and you are going to pull back the left arm, and you're going to look at it. So you're going to look at that, you pull it back, and then you're going to inhale it forward. So you're exhaling back. And again. Exhale. Inhale. And this time you're going to pull back and hold it. Look forward. And then you're going to fire that bow, and you're going to do that by shooting those fingers out front, and then bring your left arm forward, imagining it's that arrow. Yeah? Same on the other side. Make a mental note of how that shoulder felt, and then let's see how this feels, and try not to work with judgment. Just keep observing and be compassionate to your shoulders and every part of your body and everyone. Okay, but that's another lesson. All right, so let's go with this archer pose. You're going to Draw back this right arm. Exhale, look at it. Inhale forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. This time we're going to hold back. Look forward. Shoot the arrows forward. Take that arm slowly forward and down. And good. Roll those shoulders. So we've done quite a lot of shoulder work this morning. So let's move a little bit more into these hips. And now we've looked at this before, many weeks ago now. Seems a long time ago. And it's the Warrior 2. So if you are working with a mat in front of you, I know I don't specify it, but it can be useful. I've often worked just with a towel. You know, when I've been staying in a hotel or something and I haven't had my yoga mat, I just throw the towel on the floor and use that as my yoga mat. So there are ways we can improvise. You don't need a specialised yoga mat. Okay, so what you do want to do is to align this right foot with the left at the back, so that heel, if you were to draw an imaginary line, would fit into the arch of that back foot. And you can stay seated, or if you feel strong enough to today, you can stand up. But let's establish the posture first. Check that back arm is pointing directly back and shoulder height. Check this front arm is pointing directly forward. And then if you feel, you can just move off the chair into the posture you can. This is Virabhadrasana 2. This really helps to develop your intention and integrity. Observing these hips now, how are they feeling? Can you exhale and sink even deeper into the posture? Again, work without criticism. Be constructive to yourself. Be kind and compassionate to your body. It's the only one you've got. You want to look after it. It's your responsibility. Okay, bending this arm. Can you rest this forearm on your thigh and then align this other arm with the rest of the side of that upper body? You're trying to create a straight line. If you can, look up, do. If that's too uncomfortable, look down. And then you're going to inhale back to your warrior. And then you're going to reverse it. So just see if you can work through the ribs, taking the ribs back, and then the arms move down onto that back leg, whilst the right arm moves up over, framing in a crescent moon type shape the face. Looking up or down, whichever's more comfortable for you. And then inhale. Okay. And exhale, sit down for a moment. If you're standing, just have a little tap out, everybody. And then aligning the feet the other way again. Check this invisible line. So we're aligning the feet so we've got a good, strong foundation. This heel here would fit perfectly into the arch of that supporting leg. And you can stay seated, or if you feel you are able to today, you can lift off, but just establish these arms first. Check that they're beautifully aligned, shoulder height, and then looking to that front hand, staying with the posture. See if you can exhale deeper into the posture. Think about zipping up your tummy. We've talked about that many times. See if you can zip up that tummy so that you've got a very strong, supported centre. And then you're going to bend this arm and take it down to rest on your thigh, and taking this upper arm over, and you're wanting to make it a beautiful straight line, a diagonal 45-degree angle maybe. Looking up or looking down, whichever works for you. And then inhale up. And then reversing those arms back and then down. With that right arm, lifting that left arm over in a beautiful curved shape. The palms facing down. And you're looking up or down, whichever works for your neck, your body. You're taking care of your body. Not every yoga posture fits everybody, so remember that too. We don't have to fit into the yoga posture. If it doesn't work with us, that's okay. We're all unique. And then inhale up. And then straighten that leg. Come and sit down. And a little roll around. Okay. Grabbing your block if you are using one, or your blanket. Sitting a little bit further back now. We're just going to release with a spinal twist. So your right hand comes onto your left knee. The left hand holds the back of the chair. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, just turn around to the left. A couple more breaths. Inhale, forward. And the other way around. Inhale, lift up, facing the front, and then exhale to the back. And inhale to the front. And just shrug those shoulders and sigh out if you need to. Okay, so a couple of moments of final relaxation before we finish. So sitting back in the chair, placing the hands on your thighs, feet feel connected properly to the ground, so you feel earthed. And if you're able to close your eyes, close your eyes. Or if you just want to drop your eyes down. Just allow the body to relax completely, surrendering to the chair that is supporting you and will continue to support you as long as you need. And if you want to mentally repeat to yourself again the mantra we looked at the beginning of the session, as you breathe in, breathing in, power to. What does that mean for you? And when you breathe out, breathing out, letting go of power over, changing the paradigm. It's time if we're to evolve as a species, as an individual. Breathing in, power to. Breathing out, letting go of power over. Relax. Beginning to deepen the breath, starting to come back into the body, perhaps a little shake of the hands, wiggle of the feet, and come away from the chair, open the eyes, perhaps a little wriggle, perhaps a stretch, and just taking a moment, as much time as you need before you interact with the world again. If you need to stay within yourself for a few moments more, then take that time for you, if you can. Okay, take care everyone. Lovely to share this experience with you, and I hope you have a good and positive week. Namaste.